Welcome to 736 Apps. This one is going to be about the Post-it Note app. The Post-it Note app is, well, you've guessed it, about Post-it notes. So when you take a bunch of notes in a group on Post-its, you can take a picture with this app. So hit the plus sign on the bottom, it'll pop up a camera. Well, when you do, just make sure you hold it down. If you just tap it, it doesn't do it. You got to hold it for a while, it thinks, and wham, it turns all of your little Post-its into images. You can even tap them to remove some, so if there's that coworker that nobody values his or her opinion, you can make sure that their wisdom disappears. Well, when you do download it in the app, it gives it a name. It's automatic. It says Group A. Well, if you do a couple of these, you'll have Group A, Group B, whatnot. But you can also rename it. Since I wasn't working in a group, I was by myself doing this little video tutorial. I'm going to name it Weekend Heist, because criminal masterminds definitely need to be organized as well. So I named it Weekend Heist, and I have all my groovy little Post-it notes ready to roll. So if you double click that, it will open them up and you can see all the Post-it notes together. I decided to write in a couple of different ways. I did some pictures, I wrote some Chinese, some Spanish, and that way I wanted to see how this thing would react to different types of handwriting and different types of input. So if you're looking at these Post-its, you see at the bottom right, you'll have a little star pop up. Well, you can favorite it. At the bottom left, you're going to have an edit button. So let's see step 3. For ransom him, speaking of Mr. Keebler, for a lifetime supply of mini fudge stripes, or striped cookies. I think it's stripes, mini fudge stripes. So I needed to edit that. I ran out of room, so I clicked the bottom right to get the eraser, and it gets rid of the words, but it leaves your Post-it note looking like, well, a legit Post-it note. So now I can click on the pen. When I click on the pen, I can write it in there a little bit nicer. Sweet. And see, now it looks official. And when you're done, just click done at the top right and move on. On step 4, I started writing something. I had to think about it and I scribbled it out. So I just want to make it look nicer. So I'm going to click the erase button and get rid of it. Click done. Now for my drawing, well, I ran out of time in group time for my drawings, and I really wanted them to be special. So I can go back and edit them. But I wanted to add the leaves to the tree, because what good is a little elf tree without some groovy leaves? So I added some leaves, make it look nice. And then there's me after I get all my ransom cookies. So those are all the Post-its in there. I like them, I think they're good, so I want to keep them. So I can go back. I hit the top left button to go back and view them as a group. Now if you notice, they're all kind of cattywonker. I can move this thing around, but there's also a button on here when you go to edit. You can actually change the view where it locks them in real square-like. So here's the view. I'm looking at all the Post-its at the top. I can click on that button that's highlighted and it locks them in a grid. I like that because it's really nice. It's all uniform. It's all for those left brain people out there. Of course, you can resize it, move it around, because imagine you'll probably have quite a few different sets of Post-its out there once you use the app. My favorite is when you click off of it at the top right, it's going to appear a button to share it. So after your meeting, you click on here and you can share it. These are different types. I like to use a PDF document because it's pretty uniform across all the different devices. So I'm going to share it, but this time I'm not going to just share it directly to a person. I'm going to copy it to my drive. Because that time I'm going to take my iPad to the beach, even though it's the schools, and I'm going to drop it in the ocean, it's going to ruin it. Well, I need to have a backup of all this data. So here I am. I'm uploading it to my drive. And, well, there it is. So now if I double click on it, I can see my notes just the same way they are in the app. Once again, something you need to remember is you can't edit them once you save them like this, but hopefully if you're going to share it, you're kind of done with the editing part. So now I have my notes, I'm ready to go, and I can get it on my phone or my computer or whatnot. So I hope you enjoy this little review of the Post-it app, and stay tuned for another one reviewing more fun things you can do with Post-its.